Now on CoastTV News.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva. Yellow alert day, tracking the threat of heavy rain developing through the morning and into the afternoon. How the latest timing and when it'll all clear out.
Shelter strain with code purple up and running to shelter the homeless during the winter months, where the biggest strain is.
Plus, permit plan prevails, at least for now, why the Delaware Sportsmen Association believes it can still ultimately win in the effort to block the state's permit to purchase law.
Property pricing probe. The Delaware General Assembly continues its hearings on the controversial property reassessment. What's the focus of today's meeting?
This is CoastTV News Today.
And we begin with a live look at Milford. This is just off of Route 1. Not a lot of activity there right now. We do know there's cold temperatures, and we do know that wet conditions are on tap. Really not the greatest of combinations for you if you're about to hit the roads.
Exactly, Matt, and that same highway, but much further south. This is video we got just moments ago from Ocean City, high above Coastal Highway. It's dark out, not a lot of people on the roads yet. But these conditions could quickly change, and this is what drivers are looking to deal with at this part of the morning.
Yeah, and that is how we start Tuesday morning, December 2nd, 2025. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us during our 5 o'clock hour.
We have the conditions that have triggered an alert day.
That is true. And now turning to First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobono for what is really a yellow alert day. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Grace and Matt. Yes, we're tracking that threat of heavy rain through the morning. Right now, we are on the dry side for all of the peninsula as we take a live look into Ocean City. We're up to 49 degrees. We're seeing a surge of milder air push in off the Atlantic, so quite a temperature disparity. 29 Harrington, 31 Seaford, 32 Salisbury, but we are well above the freezing mark at the shore with that wind coming in off the Atlantic, and that is going to help us actually turn this all into a rain event. This was never going to be a snow event for us, and you could see the moisture beginning to push into D.C., Annapolis. You could see the snow well off to the west, mixed precipitation, rain, some mix across Richmond, and that moisture is going to continue pushing to the northeast here over the next hour, but there's plenty more moisture back off to the west. You can see the stream of moisture all the way down to Atlanta. Area of low pressure off the coast of Charleston. So we'll put this into motion over the next few hours. The rain is really going to begin moving in after about 6, 7 o'clock this morning and then really pick up in intensity through about 10 a.m. You can see the yellows and the oranges there, some heavy rain. And look at the temperatures rising into the 40s and 50s at the coast. And that heavy rain is going to continue through the lunchtime hour. Then as we get to about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we begin to see that rain really taper off pretty dramatically from west to east, and the winds will begin picking up out of the northwest, and then we'll dry things out through the evening. So we're looking at a rainy morning, and that rain will be continuing through the afternoon. I'll have the latest on how much rain we can expect to see and even more colder temperatures down the road. We'll talk more about that coming up in that 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour is the cold winter-like weather settling in, and with it, the need for shelter and food for the homeless increases. Organizers with Code Purple say these shelters are run entirely by volunteers. Officials say anyone interested in volunteering or needing support can find more information on the Code Purple websites or by calling the shelters. Code Purple says it is running for 105 nights total until March 15th. New overnight, a federal appeals court has decided Delaware's new handgun permit law is staying in place. The Delaware Sportsmen Association and several others asked the United States Court of Appeals to pause the law, saying the state doesn't yet have the system needed to issue permits, calling it a de facto ban on buying handguns.
The group first asked a U.S. District Court for a temporary restraining order against the Delaware Department of Safety and Homeland Security, but that request was denied in November, and now the appeals court has now upheld this decision. The Delaware State Sportsmen Association reacted to the ruling on its Facebook page with this statement. According to the organization, although the appeal was denied, the appeals court is expediting the issue to be heard before a 3-judge panel. The group says it will continue to challenge the new law, quote, going all the way up if we have to, end quote.
So what is Delaware's permit to purchase law? Let's level set this one for you here. According to the state, there are several new steps people must complete in order to get a permit to purchase a handgun. These include a firearms training course, fingerprinting, and passing a background check. These changes took effect on November 16th after being signed into law on May 16th of 2024. And we have more information on this on our website, CoastTV.com.
Happening today, Delaware lawmakers are again moving forward with hearings regarding the controversial property reassessments. It takes place in just a few hours at 9:30 a.m. at Legislative Hall, and the General Assembly is expected to get feedback from the business community. The hearings were put on hold because of a lawsuit related to a bill that allowed Newcastle school districts to reset its tax rates. There are 2 more hearings, including today's.
And later today in Ocean City, the Planning and Zoning Commission is reviewing the draft of its comprehensive plan.
The draft of the comprehensive plan says they're looking at data. The town's permanent population decreased by over 200 people from 2010 to 2020. The most recent data on visitor spending is from 2022. It shows growth at nearly 5%.
Yeah, one of the recommended strategies is the plan to encourage property renovations to improve real estate assessment value. It's expected the council and Mayor Rick Meehan will give its decision to approve the plan by the end of the month.
And in Ocean City, the debate over short-term rentals is not slowing down. This as council moves toward a final vote on extending a moratorium in a single-family home and mobile home neighborhoods. Homeowners who depend on those rentals to help pay the bills say they feel like their property rights are being squeezed out.
The voters want their own property rights, whether they intend to ever rent their home. They know that they're pretty much one accident away from needing some type of extra income in case of an emergency. And they don't want someone to come in and steal their property rights.
Supporters of the moratorium say it's a temporary step to protect quiet neighborhoods while new rules are written. But opponents worry yearly extensions could add up to a long-term ban on new rentals in those areas.
New this morning in Worcester County, some adjustments to its fiscal year 2026 budget. According to the agenda, county commissioners will hold a public hearing for the amendments. County documents say officials approved the fiscal year 2026 operating budget back in June of this year with a total of over $281 million. Worcester County commissioners are meeting on this and other issues at 9 a.m. And this just in, the White House now confirms the U.S. military struck an alleged drug boat more than once off the coast of Venezuela, but it says Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth did not make that order.
NBC's Alice Barr showing us as Congress ramps up pressure on the White House over the situation.
President Trump huddling into the night in the Oval Office with his national security team after the administration confirmed it hit an alleged drug smuggling boat twice back in September off Venezuela. A U.S. official and a source familiar with the Pentagon's actions tell NBC News the second strike was ordered after the first failed to kill everyone on board. The White House saying Admiral Frank Bradley, not Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, ordered the second hit.
Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law. He directed the engagement to ensure the boat was destroyed and the threat of narco-terrorists to the United States was completely eliminated.
Admiral Bradley is overseeing a ramped-up U.S. military presence in the Caribbean, part of the Trump administration's fight against drug traffickers.
The president has made it quite clear that if narco-terrorists, again, are trafficking illegal drugs towards the United States, he has the authority to kill them.
The use of a so-called double tap is raising serious questions among lawmakers in both parties, with some saying that targeting incapacitated survivors after the first hit could be a war crime.
I'm going to look into this very, very diligently and appropriately because there is the possibility of illegal activity by the armed forces.
The Senate Armed Services Republican chair saying classified oversight hearings could begin as soon as this week.
We're able to see videos and see what the orders were. We'll have a lot more information.
Promising a bipartisan push to get to the facts. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Lewis police are continuing to investigate a shooting they say happened here at the Jefferson Apartments early Friday morning. Police say they got the call just after 1 a.m. with reports of several gunshots in the complex. A young person inside one of the apartments was hit, but officers say the injury is not life-threatening. Investigators believe this was a targeted attack and say there is no threat to the public.
In Georgetown, Steiner Road between Lewis-Georgetown Highway and Hollis Road is now closed, and it could last for more than 6 weeks. DelDOT says a roadway reconstruction project is underway. According to the department, the work is expected to continue through Friday, January 16th of 2026. It's weather permitting, and there are detours in place for drivers.
And we're just getting started here on this hour of Coast TV News Today.
Coming up, Rehoboth Audit Review, when officials are expected to take a look at the findings from this year's inquiry.
Also, strategies to serve homeless community. We'll show you how Georgetown is addressing an issue that has caused concern by people living there.
Still ahead, from hospice patients to local artists, how Giving Tuesday helps strengthen local organizations. And there is First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. He's in the Weather Center. He's tracking some significant rain, and we check in with him next.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva. An umbrella, rain boots, and coffee are the things you're going to need to combat the conditions we are going to be experiencing through the morning. Right now, we are dry in Salisbury. In fact, but temperatures are beginning to rise. You can see along the shore, we're at 49 in Ocean City, 43 in Rehoboth, still on the cold side, northwestern portions of the county and the peninsula. But you can see that marine air beginning to filter in off the Atlantic. Moisture on the other side of the bay. We're beginning to see some light rain break out, some sleet across Annapolis and Washington. And this moisture is going to continue filtering into the area through the morning and picking up in intensity. After about 6 o'clock, we expect that rain to move into the area and really begin to get quite heavy. In fact, after about 10 o'clock through 1, and then after 3, we will see the rain begin to wind down. I'll have your full 7-day forecast here in minutes.
Thank you, Chris. And happening tonight, Bridgeville kicking off its Christmas season. The town is expected to hold its 4th annual tree lighting ceremony. Officials say the celebration will include a visit from Santa himself, a choir performance, free hot chocolate, and more. And people can gather on Main Street next to Town Hall starting at 6 p.m.
New this morning, a Laurel School District staff member is getting statewide recognition. On your screen, we are looking at Donna Ward, Delaware's 2026 Educational Support Professional of the Year. According to the Delaware Department of Education, Ward has spent nearly 30 years working across the Laurel School District, serving as a paraprofessional, secretary, and helping at almost every school in the district. Congratulations, Donna.
Giving Tuesday is a global event. It celebrates generosity, it encourages people to give back, and that includes right here along the coast, where local nonprofits are trying to make a difference as well. Coast TV's Nicole Richter shows us how two specifically are trying to help out the communities they serve.
At Coastal Hospice, Giving Tuesday isn't just about the donations, it's about making sure patients and families get the care they need.
We give them comfort, we give them dignity. And we are there not just for them, but for everyone.
The organization says their mission continues because of community support.
We have so many people in need, and it's only getting worse with these economic times.
And over at the Ocean City Art League, donations help keep admission free and fund a whole host of programs.
Giving Tuesday means that we have an opportunity for the community to give back here at the Art League and let us continue the mission of spreading the creative arts throughout the Delmarva region.
The Art League says not only does it help keep these programs free, this money helps keep their doors open to people who rely on community support to share their artwork.
The arts are so important because it gives people, children, adults, the opportunity to have a safe, creative space.
For both nonprofits, today is a reminder that generosity ties our communities together, helping to provide care, comfort, and creativity across the coast.
On Giving Tuesday, both organizations say that even the smallest donation can double the impact on how they provide services to the communities. For Ties That Bind Us, I'm Nicole Richter, Coast TV News.
Time is 5:18, and we are giving you a live look at the bright lights of Salisbury. This is at Salisbury University, and It's not yet wet, Chris, but the key word there is yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's going to get a lot wet here through the morning. And in fact, the rain's going to be picking up pretty heavy as we get after about 8, 9 o'clock this morning. And if you look at temperatures, we're going to be like, what rain, right? Temperatures are below freezing for most of Sussex County. But if you take a look at the beaches, we are in the 40s, and that's that marine air coming in off the Atlantic. And the temperatures are actually going to be rising through the morning. So this is going to be an all-rain event for the Delmarva Peninsula. We could begin as a little sleet northern portions of Delaware. Small craft advisory for the Delaware coast that runs through 1 o'clock Wednesday, and we have a gale warning up for the bay for areas around Cambridge down through Crisfield and Taylor's Island. Now you can see the moisture on the other side of the bay, the rain snow line literally right along the I-95 corridor. North of that it's snow, south of that it's rain, and this moisture is going to continue pushing into the peninsula over the next 2 hours. And you can see the extent of it all the way down through Atlanta, and then you see this area of low pressure developing over the Carolinas, and all this is going to continue lifting to the northeast throughout the morning. We're at the freezing mark in Salisbury. We already hit our lows for the morning, and temperatures, as I mentioned, are going to continue to rise through the morning. We're going to be at the 43 by around 9 as that rain continues to intensify over the area. By 8 o'clock, you could see some heavier rain moving into Seaford, Delmar, and then by 10, 11 o'clock, widespread heavy rain, limited visibility, a lot of ponding on the roadways expected. But you notice the temperatures, we're in the 50s for most of the coastal areas, and then upper 40s inland. That heavy rain is going to continue at least through midday, and then by around 3 o'clock, we expect that rain to taper off. Clearing skies, breezy conditions, and a cold night ahead as temperatures fall back into the upper 20s to low 30s. Rainfall on the order of 1 inch to 1.25 inches. We could see some locally higher amounts as we get into this afternoon. Those winds will pick up out of the northwest, gusting to 30 miles an hour through at least the early part of the night, and then we should see the winds begin to wind down through the early part of your Wednesday. 50, Georgetown. We'll see a high of 50 in Cambridge, 49 in Denton, 52 Ocean City to 50 in Chincoteague. Average high 54. We're down to 43 Wednesday. We'll have another cold front that's going to be coming through late Thursday night. That's going to bring another round of cold air. We have wind chills in the 20s for Wednesday morning, but by Friday morning, look at that. Wind chills are in the teens, and Friday is going to feel, well, more like January. In fact, we're watching another system that may bring a round of wintry precipitation in late Friday night through Saturday. And then we're looking at drier conditions the second half of the weekend. 50 degrees this afternoon. That rain will taper off later this afternoon. Breezy conditions. We're at 28 overnight, partly cloudy skies, 43 wall-to-wall sunshine for our Wednesday. We have that yellow alert in play for the day today, 46 into Thursday under mostly cloudy skies. Then we watch that threat of some wintry precipitation late Friday through Saturday, 46 degrees after a few morning snow or rain showers. We're up to 44 on Sunday, and then the cold air is not going anywhere, 36 degrees by next Monday, as the temperatures stay well below average throughout that 7-day forecast. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. Recovery homes and help for the homeless have been a big topic in Georgetown over the last few months, with critics saying Georgetown has become overrun with addicts and homelessness. And happening today, a 10-member committee appointed to tackle these issues will hold its 4th meeting. Trish Hill, she's the program manager for Springboard Delaware, says the group has made progress on some issues.
I think we're working very hard on trying to find some common ground. I do hope that there's success. I think that it is overwhelmingly understood that the recovery houses and transitional houses are doing really well at what they're doing. And it's a time when we're getting ready to move to the subject of homelessness.
And that meeting is scheduled for today at 4 p.m.
More to come this morning on Coast TV News Today. Rehoboth Audit Review will tell you how officials could be preparing for future reports. Don't go anywhere.
Our Bless Our Children campaign is in full swing, and we are raising money this year to ensure that every child on Delmarva has that special Christmas present to open this time of the year. And as you can see, there is plenty of room on this tree for your cards and donation, and we're going to add one of these cards. This is from Liberty Concrete. They're out of Millsboro. They actually sent a picture of everybody. Great looking group there. This card will make its way on our tree. And businesses can help by accepting the Shell Brothers Challenge of donating at least $1,000. And if you want to help, send a donation and a holiday card, and we may just read it on the air. Send a check or money order to the address on your screen or donate online at blessourchildren.org.
And we've already helped to raise over $170,000 to help children and families this holiday season. Again, we'd like to thank all who have donated. Happening today in Rehoboth Beach, a review of Rehoboth Beach operations. The audit committee set to gather today now that the audit has ended. According to the agenda, officials will present findings and discuss requests for 2026. The Rehoboth Audit Committee will gather tonight at 10 p.m.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva. We're dry for now, but that is going to be changing in a matter of hours as we take a live look into Ocean City. 49 degrees. The showers will be moving in after about 7 a.m. and they're going to be picking up in intensity through the morning through Ocean City and Fenwick Island. Quite mild. We're going to be in the 50s as that warmer air filters in off the Atlantic. We'll be up to 50 in Lewis, 51 in Rehoboth with that rain continuing. The rain will taper off after about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Cambridge, a rainy morning. We'll have that rain with heavy at times, at least through about lunchtime. We'll top out in the upper 40s through the bay. We have Marty Tarr, Dewey Beach, Delaware. Congratulations on winning an umbrella from CoastTV, and you can always call our First Alert weather phone for your latest forecast. We'll track the rain coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on CoastTV News Today, town tackles future development. We'll tell you how Ocean City officials are planning for the years ahead.
Also, the doors open at Code Purple, how organizers say volunteers can participate in helping support a community in need.
And severe storm starts. We'll show you how parts of the U.S. are dealing with wild weather this morning. We'll be right back.
Now on CoastTV News.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva. Yellow alert day, tracking the threat of heavy rain developing through the morning and into the afternoon. How the latest timing and when it'll all clear out.
Reassessment review. What group the Delaware General Assembly is expected to hear from during today's hearing on the controversial action on properties in the state.
Shelter strain with Code Purple up and running to shelter the homeless during the winter months, where the biggest strain is.
Ocean City outlook. As the town reviews its comprehensive plan, what recent census data is showing about its population.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Starting off by giving you a live look into Salisbury. This is Carroll Street, right near Route 13. It's a little dark out, not many people on the roads yet, and we're waiting right now for some wet conditions, and these cold temperatures on this Tuesday can make this a little dangerous.
Yeah, and here is Dewey Beach. This is video we got from there moments ago. We're also waiting for the rain to hit along the Delaware coast. Right now, dry roads you can see on this part of Coastal Highway, and that is how we begin this half hour on December 2nd, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us today.
5:31 a.m. We just hit 5:32 right now. Heavy rain is coming, and we hear it's coming very soon.
Yes, wet, cold, windy, all the above.
Just a delightful day.
It's perfect for a nice Tuesday, right? Turning now to Chris Maestrobono for a look at this weather. Before you make your way out the door, you may want to grab that umbrella.
That's right, Grace and Matt. I'm hate to be the bearer of bad news, but yes, we have some nasty weather that is knocking on our doorstep as we take a live look in through Salisbury, where temperatures are right at the freezing mark. Some of us may wake up, step out the door and say, wait, what rain, right? Temperatures are quite cold. We're at 31 Milford, 31 in Bridgeville, 32 in Milton, but take a look at the temperatures at the coast. We're at 43 in Rehoboth, 49 in Ocean City. You can see the wind flow out of the southeast pulling in that milder air off the ocean. Now the moisture is still on the other side of the bay. You can see that rain snow line right along the I-95 corridor, and this moisture is going to continue building into the peninsula over the next 2 hours, and there's plenty more back off to the west and south, and the moisture is actually going to be intensifying through the morning. Now if you're venturing up to say Newcastle County, northern midshore, you could begin as a brief period of sleep, but this is pretty much an all rain event for us, and that rain will be intensifying after about 10 o'clock this morning. You could see the yellows and the oranges. In fact, also note The temperatures are going to be rising as well. We're going to be surging into the upper 40s to lower 50s, and that rain will continue to come down quite heavy through at least lunchtime. Then as we get to about 3 o'clock, you can see the back edge of the rain ending from west to east, and then skies will gradually be clearing through the evening. And it's going to be a cold night despite the surge of milder air as the rain rolls in. We'll talk about how much rain we'll see once the system exits, and we'll talk about even colder temperatures in that 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour, we just had Chris show us how this rapidly strengthening storm is forming over the eastern part of the U.S. today.
And it comes on the heels of 2 other recent winter storms. Ailey Kiley shows us how the weather is affecting people across the country.
Tuesday is the day that the Northeast is going to see the majority of the snow from this winter storm.
The third winter storm of this week is sweeping across the country. The record-setting doozy is hitting the eastern U.S. today. It's bringing northern snow, southern rain, and a chance for Gulf Coast tornadoes.
It is going to be a wet, sloppy mess with rain heavy at times throughout parts of the southeast.
Farther west, people are digging out after previous rounds of snow and ice. The FAA says some airports could see ground stops today after one at Chicago O'Hare last night.
You know, you are in Chicago, you got to be ready for any storm.
Officials say a child was taken to the hospital with minor injuries after this school bus crash in northern Illinois yesterday. This video from Topeka, Kansas shows school bus drivers stopping on the side of a slippery highway. Nearby Kansas City has a new daily snowfall record from yesterday. And in Minneapolis, a man is using the recent weather to build an ice castle.
There's lights in the castle, there's all sorts of caverns, there's ice slides. There's going to be a little bar.
In addition to the snow and rain, forecasters predict new low temperature records in some parts of the country today.
The weather pattern that we're in keeps it cold for most of the week, for most of the country.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And with the cold winter-like weather settling in, the need for shelter and food for the homeless increases.
CoastTV News reporter Elisa Weber is live at Code Purple at the Cape location, which opened its doors last night. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Yes, as of December 1st, all Code Purple locations will be open to provide emergency housing for the homeless during these cold winter months. And right now, we are at St. Jude the Apostle in Lewis. This is one of 2 Code Purple at the Cape locations. This location specifically only serves men, and women are able to go to the Code Purple at the Cape location that is held at the Lutheran Church of Our Savior in Rehoboth Beach. Each location has 14 beds. Organizers with Code Purple say these shelters are run entirely by volunteers. On December 1st, Taros Village, a nearby tent camp for unsheltered neighbors in Sussex County, closed its doors, which Mike Agnew, director of Code Purple at the Cape, says will push even more people to seek shelter at Code Purple. Officials say anyone interested in volunteering or needing support can find more information on the Code Purple websites or by calling the shelters.
Being exposed to those conditions 24/7 every day of the week is tough for anybody to bear, but it can lead to death, right? So the whole hope here is to get them indoors where, we're providing some level of dignity where they can come in, they can relax, get warm, get a hot meal.
And Code Purple says it will operate for 105 nights until March 15th. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa Weber in Lewis. Developing news in Delaware, a federal appeals court has decided Delaware's new handgun permit law will stay in place. The Delaware Sportsmen's Association and several others asked the United States Court of Appeals to pause the law, saying the state doesn't yet have the system needed to issue permits, calling it a de facto ban on buying handguns. The groups first asked a U.S. District Court for a temporary restraining order against the Delaware Department of Safety and Homeland Security, but that request was denied in November, and now the appeals court has now upheld the decision.
New this morning, we're getting details about a crash that occurred last night just north of Harbison. 2 cars were involved, and according to the Milton Fire Department, they received the call at 10:22 p.m. for a vehicle that had rolled over. It was here on Harbison Road. The department says 2 people were taken for treatment.
Delaware lawmakers are again moving forward with hearings regarding the controversial property reassessments. The next one will be held this morning at 9:30 a.m. at Legislative Hall. The General Assembly is expected to get feedback from the business community. The hearings were put on hold because of a lawsuit related to a bill that allowed Newcastle school districts to reset its tax rates. There are 2 more hearings, including today's.
Later today in Ocean City, the Planning and Zoning Commission is reviewing the information in this. This is the draft of the comprehensive plan.
They're looking at data that shows the town's permanent population decrease by over 200 people from 2010 to 2020. The most recent data on visitor spending is from 2022, and it shows growth at nearly 5%.
Yeah, one of the recommended strategies here is in the plan is to encourage property renovations. That's to improve real estate assessment value. It's expected the council and Mayor Rick Meehan will give its decision to approve the plan by the end of the month.
And Ocean City's debate over short-term rentals is not slowing down. This as council moves towards a final vote on extending a moratorium in some single-family and mobile home neighborhoods. Supporters of the moratorium say it's a temporary step to protect quiet neighborhoods while new rules are written. But opponents worry yearly extensions could add up to a long-term ban on new rentals in those areas.
Got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, school funding fiasco. We'll tell you how one Wicomico County city says the state is struggling and they have to make up the difference.
Also, new coach helps nab title. How it all came together for Seaford as the Blue Jays won their first high school football state championship since the 1980s.
Hope your Tuesday morning is off to a great start. Delmarva, we have some rainy weather to contend with here through the morning, and that will be developing over the next hour. Dover, 34 degrees, so we are above the freezing mark, but you can see some areas still flirting with the freezing mark, but that's going to be changing. You can see we're at 48 Bethany Beach, 44 in Rehoboth. That air coming in off the Atlantic continues out of the southeast, so temperatures are going to be warming as this moisture approaches. We could see it approaching portions of the northern midshore. Annapolis seeing some mixed precipitation. We could begin as a little sleet northern Delmarva, but plenty more rain back off to the west, and this is going to be extending into the area through the morning, and that rain is going to be intensifying, coming down pretty heavy at times after about 8 o'clock through about your lunchtime. So take your time, drive slow, make sure you have those windshield wipers going and those lights as well. Temperatures rising into the low 50s as we see that moisture roll in. We're going to be falling back into the 20s tonight. I'll talk more about that and how much rain we could expect to see. Full 7-day forecast is coming up in minutes.
New this morning, Ocean City Police Department is adding more space. This is the picture of a new animal control shed that they say was recently donated. According to the department, this will not house animals, but instead it will store equipment.
Looking across Delmarva, a financial snag could impact a major project in Wicomico County. Officials say the state is struggling to hold up its end of the bargain to pay for the construction of a new Fruitland primary school. Wicomico County has been tasked with making up the difference. For construction to stay on schedule, the county needs to pay an additional $15 million that the county will be reimbursed for.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
In Dover Saturday, the Seaford High School football team won a state championship. The Blue Jays claimed the 1A title in overtime against Newark Charter, bringing a trophy back to Seaford for the first time in 4 decades. So naturally, head coach Glenn Phillips was just named the Class 1A Coach of the Year. There's obviously reasons why you conceive it. When our own Darren Wallace caught up with him after the game, he was clearly emotional. Even though it's his first year in Seaford, he knows how much this championship meant to the town. They hadn't appeared in a state title game since the early 90s. They had not won one, like we said just a moment ago, since the early 80s. It definitely helped that he had the 1A Offensive Player of the Year at quarterback in Vince Evans, but you need more than just a QB to win games. This Seaford team won 2 games all of last year, and they dropped just 1 all of this season. And that was to a team in a completely different district, a bigger district in Indian River, who, by the way, was also playing at Alumni Stadium in Dover over the weekend in their own state championship game. This is the first ever state title for Coach Phillips, obviously his first at Seaford, and it looks like with his leadership, the Blue Jays could become a dynasty.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 8:30, we have a replay of Maryland Eastern Shore's men's basketball game against Gwynedd Mercy, and then you can catch the final score at 10:30.
And December's barely begun, but in the entertainment world, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. David Daniel sees what's under the tree in today's Hollywood Minute.
Elton John's Yuletide classic Step Into Christmas is officially platinum. The Recording Industry Association of America has certified the 1973 song has sold more than 1 million copies. It's triple platinum in the UK, where it's re-entered the charts every December since 2011.
Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland.
Lady A is out with their first new Christmas album in more than a decade. The country pop trio is supporting On This Winter Night Volume 2 with their first ever Christmas tour, launching Friday in Atlanta, Georgia.
Let's start the holidays! I can't wait for the snow!
Here's your first look at the first snow of Fraggle Rock. Gobo heads to outer space, the human world, looking for inspiration for his annual holiday song. The first snow of Fraggle Rock falls Friday on Apple TV. Making hot chocolate in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, especially with today's rain, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from CoastTV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and so much more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign-up to get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And the holiday season's here, and so is the return of our holiday house. It's where people can submit photos or videos of their holiday decorations, and we'll show them right here during our newscast.
Grace, look at this picture here. We got a very cozy living room.
Oh, wow.
Lots of Santas, other festive characters, and the lights are very nice touch here. So we want to thank Angela. She's in Parsonsburg for showing us her home. And to start sending in your pictures, head to our website, coasttv.com/holidayhouse.
The time is now 5:50 a.m. as we're taking a live look out into a rather dark Dover, Chris, and it's looking okay for now, but you're expecting some wintry rain.
Yeah, cold, soaking rain is what we'll call it for most of us. If you're heading north of Dover, you may start as a little sleet, though. And you can see temperatures right now are hovering above the freezing mark. We actually hit our lows for the day just after midnight. Temperatures are beginning to rise. We're at 45 in Rehoboth, 49 in Ocean City. And you can see that southeast wind coming in off the Atlantic, bringing in that milder air. We have a small craft advisory up for the Atlantic. Runs through about 1 o'clock on Wednesday. We have a gale warning up. Portions of the Chesapeake Bay running through Cambridge down through Crisfield and Smith Island. That runs through 4 a.m. on Wednesday. Now you can see the moisture just on the other side of the bay beginning to move in. Rain to the south, that rain snow line right along I-95 corridor. Snowfall coming down at an inch an hour across portions of Ohio, western Pennsylvania. It's going to be an all-rain event here for Delmarva as this moisture continues to push up the coast. Right now in Ocean City, it's 49 degrees, and we're going to be up into the lower 50s through the morning as that rain breaks out after about 7 o'clock, and that rain will pick up in intensity through about 10 and around your lunchtime. You can see the oranges and the reds picking up on that heavy rain, and look at the temperatures. We're well into the low 50s, especially at the beaches. Now, it's a quick-hitting system because by 3 o'clock, we expect that rain to push offshore. Winds will turn out of the northwest, and skies will begin clearing through the evening. It's going to be a rather blustery evening. As far as the rainfall goes, we're looking at upwards of an inch to as much as 1.25 inches. Could see some locally higher amounts as we push through the afternoon. Those winds will kick up out of the north, gusting to near 30 miles an hour, and then they'll relax as we go into Wednesday. Now, temperatures today are going to be in the low 50s through the morning, with that rain at least through about 3 o'clock. Temperatures are going to fall to 43 on Wednesday. Another cold front will be pushing through late Thursday through Friday, dropping us back to 38 by Friday. Wind chills by Wednesday morning are going to be in the 20s, low to mid 20s. By Friday morning, it's going to be the coldest morning of the week, with wind chills in the teens as we struggle to get out of the 30s. Then we watch another system that will track to our southeast and bring some potential wintry moisture into our area Friday night through Saturday morning. It looks like a rather weak storm system, but we'll continue to fine-tune the forecast through the remainder of the week. 50 degrees today. The rain will taper off late this afternoon. It'll turn breezy with gusts near 30 miles an hour. 28, partly cloudy skies and a cold night. And then Wednesday, pick of the week, I'll call it, 43, wall-to-wall sunshine. Temperatures will rise to 46 on Thursday. It will be a mostly cloudy day. 38 into Friday with that late chance of either some light snow or some mixed precipitation as we go into Friday night. 46 Saturday. We could see some early showers, either rain or snow, but then the second half of the weekend trending drier, 44. And then another cold front comes through, drops us down to 36 degrees for Monday. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. The time is now 5:53 a.m. and it's time to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
Got a Christmas coastal pet, Grace.
Oh my goodness, very festive.
I know, 14-year-old long-haired miniature dachshund named Brio. Brio loves barking for treats, going for car rides, playing with squeaky toys, and pestering his brother Nano. Brio was submitted to us by Jen and Brian in Salisbury.
Is it Brio or is that Rudolph guiding the sleigh? We'll never know. Well, we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. You can send us photos. Tell us what makes them so special to you. If you take a look at your screen right now.
There's the QR code. Scan that. Get your friends to us. And then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
Dry for now, but the rain is knocking on our door. That rain will pick up in intensity through the morning, at least through the early part of the afternoon. A mild day as we surge into the upper 40s to low 50s. Yellow alert in play. We're looking at up to about 1.25 inches of rain throughout the peninsula. Once we get to this afternoon, the rain should taper off after about 3 o'clock. We'll fall to the upper 20s tonight. Sunshine returns Wednesday. I know it's only going to be 43, but I'm calling that the pick of the week because we're going to be up to more clouds by Thursday and then even colder Friday, 38 with a chance of some late wintry mix as we go into the start of the weekend.
So what, Friday's not the pick of the week? With all that activity on that graphic?
If you like snow, if rain, if you like sleet, some cold.
A little something for everyone. Not those summer fans, though.
No, not at all. All right, thanks, Chris. And coming up in our next hour, the cold weather worries with shelter for the homeless up and running, where one organization is seeing a strain. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.